Hey, Carly.
Yeah.
You go to therapy, right?
I do. Once a week, actually.
Once a week.
Yeah.
How long you been doing that?
I honestly can't remember. Definitely over a year, though.
Okay. What made you realize that that was something you needed to do?
I don't know. I mean, there's like a bunch of different things, honestly, but anxiety, which is like the most basic answer, I guess.
I mean, it's still an answer. It's a legitimate reason to go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think that's like a lot of people go for anxiety. Like, you go
Yeah.
for anxiety?
I go for, mainly that.
Yeah.
That and like depression and shit. But
Oh, okay. Yeah. But I actually have really bad driving anxiety, which I don't know if it's still
I'm
bad
sorry.
now. No, you're good. You're driving, so
Oh,
it's all
okay.
good. I have no problem if I'm just like in the car.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know what happened. Like, nothing traumatic happened. But one time I was driving and I felt like I was passing out. And I didn't, but it felt like it. I've never passed out in my life. But I felt like I was passing out and my friend was in the car. This is when I lived in Omaha still. And I don't even remember what happened. I just like pulled over and I was like, oh my gosh. She was like, what just happened? And I was like, I don't know. I felt like I was going to pass out. So and then I drove home. Like, I was fine after that, but I was still nervous. And I was like, am I like about to have a stroke or something? Like, that was so weird.
Yeah.
And nothing happened. And then every time I would drive after that for a couple months, I would be afraid of it happening.
Yeah.
And then I think that made it worse. And then it got to a point where I like literally couldn't drive for like a couple months. Cause like as soon as I would get on the road, I would get panicky and feel like I was gonna pass out.
And nothing triggered that at all.
No.
It was just a random.
Yeah,
like,
it was
freak
super
out.
random. We were just driving. Like, I love driving. Like, I still love it, but I'm more scared about it. It actually went away. I moved to LA and I was good for like a year, and then it just kicked in again randomly. And I was like, okay, I need to like start going to therapy or figure this out.
Yeah.
And therapy is really interesting because for me, I like an immediate solution to things, but that's not how life is, and that's not how therapy goes either. There's no immediate solution. Like, it's working through things.
Yeah.
It is weird though. You go every week, and like, do you ever feel like you don't have anything really to talk about?
Yeah.
What do you do? Because I don't know what to do. I'll just try to bring up things that I'm trying to remember, or like go through my week, but then I'm like, this isn't doing anything, I feel like.
Sometimes I'll ask the therapist what's been going on with her.
Oh, really?
Because if I do that, then I can, if she has a specific thing that's going on with her that I can relate to, then it brings out this thing that I didn't even know, that I was like subconsciously thinking about. She usually has been pretty good at like just pulling shit out like really easily, to the point where like when I first went into therapy, I felt like really vulnerable and just like, I don't want you to
talk about it.
Yeah. I don't want you to ask any of this stuff. Like, this is really weird that you're asking me this. And then I was like, well, wait, fuck, I'm paying like money to do this.
Yeah.
So I have to allow it.
A lot of money too.
Yeah.
Has it helped you? Like, do you think it's changed
No.
you at all yet?
It helps in...
No.
Well, no, it helps during the day. Like, that day, it helps a lot.
Oh, okay.
And then, you know, throughout the week, I'll just start to... It'll be like, it's like Advil. It's like I have a constant headache, right?
Yeah.
And I take Advil, and it goes away for like a couple days, and then it'll come back. And like, you know what I mean? And I just... It helps. It definitely is... I think eventually it's gonna get to that point, because I haven't been going that long.
Oh, how long have you been?
About a month.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So I think maybe after a while, like for me, it's definitely helped me think sort of a different way.
Yeah.
Or like be able to process things differently or react differently.
Yeah.
So I think that's a benefit of going for a while. Because at first it doesn't feel like anything's happening, really.
So when you're in therapy and you're talking about anxiety, I'm assuming that's kind of talking about fears in a way.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, it's definitely fears. It's also like things I make up in my head that I'm scared of happening, which is a fear. Yeah, you're right. That's definitely what you just said.
Yeah. Well,
also,
what are those things that you're like afraid of happening?
Like, I'm trying to think of a specific example, but like I'm always afraid if I like say something, like this person will get mad, or like if I do something, someone will be upset with me. I'm very like, I care so much if someone's upset with me, I'll go out of my way to like not have that happen, I guess, when like in reality that person probably won't. And and I'm learning that like it's okay if someone is mad at you or is not happy with something you did. I don't know, I have this weird, like when I first was learning how to drive, I remember I was turning and I did something and I got honked at and I could not stop thinking about it for the rest of the day. So it's kind of like that. It's like, okay, but people honk and people get upset. I'm sure you've been upset with somebody, and I'm learning that it's okay. And I never argue with people or anything.
Yeah.
I wasn't raised, like I never fought with anybody, and my parents never fought. so I never saw that happening, like somebody fighting and then getting through it. I never really saw that. So now it's like such a big fear because in my head I don't know what's gonna happen.
Sure.
So it's like if Bruce and I get in a fight, in my head, like before I talked about this in therapy a lot, it was like, oh, we might break up because we're fighting.
Sure.
When in reality it's like a lot of couples fight and they get through it and then it's fine.
Yeah. I'm just curious about your fears specifically because I feel like we kind of share them in a way. And yeah, like so confrontation, that's definitely one.
Yeah, confrontation for sure.
Yeah.
I know you have really bad health anxiety.
Yeah.
Which I have a little. I think it's gotten better, but
yeah,
I definitely, like I was going to school to be a respiratory therapist and I had to stop because it made my health anxiety so bad. Because I was learning about all these things that were hurting people and, you know, they were dying. And I would honestly love to do something medical in the future. I just don't know if I could. And just seeing people in their hospital beds.
Yeah.
And it's like, this is sad. Like that's all you see all day.
Yeah, you see like people you either see people being born or you see people on the verge of dying.
Yep, pretty much.
It's just a hospital.
And, you know, occasionally just like getting their tonsils out, but.
I'm afraid of tumors a lot.
Oh yeah, a lot.
A lot. I am, but only in the brain. I don't care if I have a tumor on like my arm.
Oh really?
No, I don't care about
Oh,
that.
interesting. Well, have you ever tried CBD or anything?
Yeah.
How? Does that work for you or no?
CBD does work for like pain,
Oh, okay.
but it doesn't work for like anxiety or anything like that, or like depression.
Interesting.
What about you?
I don't really know, to be honest. Like there's I have this little pen that's like mostly CBD and a little weed, but it's not enough to get you high, is what it's supposed to be. And I've taken it like, what is it? Smoked it, I guess, like a couple of times.
You vaped it?
Yeah, it's like a little vape thing. And the first time I felt really just like tired, and I was like, okay, I get it. Like that's kind of calming, you know. If you're really anxious and you get really tired, it's kind of like a system shutdown a little bit.
Sure.
Like it's helping you, it's slowing your breathing and all that. But then like I'll do it some other times and it doesn't really work. So I feel like it just depends on a lot. I feel like if your anxiety is really bad, it might not work.
Yeah. If you're.
What about weed?
Oh no.
No.
No, I just don't like anything that affects the brain. That's why I don't do drugs.
Okay.
If it's altering your state of mind, then I get scared that I'll get stuck in that state of mind. So when I get high on weed,
oh, like you think it'll be forever?
Yeah, I have that feeling, and I know it's irrational, and I know it never lasts forever. And I know really the only drug that can actually have a lasting impact on your brain chemistry is acid.
Oh. Okay.
Acid can literally like it can bring out like mental illness that you're prone to or you're predisposed
I've heard of
to.
that, like schizophrenia.
Yeah, and like
I've heard that.
Auditory hallucinations. Like there's this guy, the lead singer of the Beach Boys, who was the guy who wrote all the Beach Boys songs. His name was Brian Wilson.
Yeah.
He was doing a lot of acid, and it helped him write all those Beach Boys songs that you hear at water parks. And then he did acid too much to the point where he started to hear voices, and now he has it's called auditory hallucinations, and he's had that for 50 years. And I'm like, I'm never doing it. I can't do that.
Way. So it's like he hears someone talking?
Yeah, he hears voices all the time. He hears people talk.
Like, where does that come from?
I don't know.
Where are the voices?
That's what's scary to me.
Obviously his brain.
Yeah, but
like,
that's what's so spooky is that it's like, how does that just happen like that? How do you now hear your brain's that powerful that it can make you hear voices, it can make you see things that aren't real? You're
right, that's fucked up. Now I'm scared of my brain.
No, that's why I like almost hate my brain. I'm like, I hate how vulnerable you are, and also that you're like,
you can fuck me up.
Yeah, you can fuck me over. I don't want you to fuck me over. I want us to be cool. I want us to be pals. Going kind of back to like biggest fears. What's like one that's more of like a life fear? I
mean, I'm really scared of dying.
Sure,
It's like very common.
Yeah, me too.
But it's just crazy that nobody knows what it feels like.
To die?
Like, yeah. Nobody knows what it feels like. And even people who have like died but come back to life, it's like they weren't actually, they were dead.
Yeah.
But like, maybe something happens when you actually die and like everything is gone. I don't know. I just think that's so interesting. And I've read a lot about, there's like a bunch of Reddit threads that are like, people have died and come back. Like, what have you seen or what did you experience? And a lot of people say they felt so much peace. They didn't see a light. They didn't see anything specific. A lot of people said they just felt really peaceful, which is really interesting because like when you fall asleep, you don't feel anything.
Yeah.
Like, I'm peaceful.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering if that's true. Are you scared of dying?
Yeah.
Like the feeling of...
not the feeling of dying, but the the after, because I think your fear of death comes from your belief system.
Yeah,
And
yeah, for sure.
if you believe in, you know, an afterlife and God, then death becomes much less scary.
Yeah.
If you don't, which I don't, I'm terrified of it. I'm just like, oh man. And my belief in this is just my own belief.
Yeah.
I don't think anything happens after you die.
Yeah.
And that's what's so scary to me.
Yeah, that
is
is terrifying.
that nothing would happen after you die.
It's funny because it's scary, but then it's also like, well, what are we scared of if it just, you don't know?
Yeah,
You're not even there.
Yeah. You're not even there, and it's like there's no. Yeah, it's being afraid of something that doesn't even exist yet.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm not every day like, oh my god, death.
Oh yeah, me neither.
I'm not
yeah.
afraid of it ever. It's just like when a plane has
When
some
you really
turbulence.
think about it. Yeah.
Or like when I really think about it.
Yeah.
Like when I get high sometimes, I'm like, is this what dying feels like?
I've been there once.
Yeah,
I
on
thought
what?
Weed.
Oh, okay.
But like, I literally was about to call police or something.
Another big fear of mine is that, and this is the most irrational fear I've ever had, that I'm actually a crazy person. Like I'm insane.
Okay.
Like I'm an insane person.
Yeah.
And whenever I leave a room, everyone's like, oh man. It's like almost like Make-A-Wish Foundation. Like my
Oh,
family's
right.
like, oh, we all pulled it together for Brandon today. And also a bigger fear of like, am I just a crazy guy that's experiencing everything from like a tiny room somewhere?
Right, and you're just like, yeah, it's all VR.
Yeah, because crazy people don't know they're crazy. That's the thing. A lot of them don't.
That's true.
So it's like, I don't know.
Yeah, that's scary.
So that it's all comes from the brain. That's the biggest fear.
Yeah, brains are fucked up.
Yeah, really.
Brains are stupid.
That's gonna be the tagline.
Brains are stupid.
Brains are stupid. You should tweet that.
I will.
Brains are stupid.
I probably will.
Can I ask you another thing?
Yeah.
This is totally unrelated, but
Yeah.
somebody said that you don't like art.
No, I mean, okay, so we were doing a mukbang, like
Okay.
me, Aaron, Zane, and Matt, like years ago.
Yeah.
And I just said it because I knew it was something stupid to say. I just don't appreciate like picture. Like if I go into an art museum, I don't like appreciate it. Which
Sure.
that's just me. Like I'm just stupid. And I don't understand.
Maybe you need to, when you go into like an art museum, you need to allow yourself to be like, what does this mean? But I always just go to an art museum because someone's making me go.
Yeah.
I never go because I actually want to go.
Yeah, exactly. And it's just like, I don't know. It's all subjective, and I don't think I'm a person who can appreciate looking at something,
Yeah.
like a picture. But obviously art is also like music and making videos and anything else. So
Yeah.
I just knew it would be something stupid to
Yeah.
say. And like Matt King and I just have that like banter of like, the moon is dumb, just like stuff like that.
The
So,
moon is
you know,
dumb.
like our brains are stupid. I just
Yeah.
love saying stuff like that because it's so dumb. I'm a really big fan of comedy, like
Yeah.
going to stand-up shows and stuff, and it's crazy how a lot of them are kind of like, fuck everybody, like I'm still gonna do what I want. This is, you paid to see me do stand-up. Stand-up is pushing the envelope. Like, if you're offended, that's fine, I'm making a joke. Some comedians are like, I can't say anything now. Like
Yeah.
everyone gets offended. Like, I don't know. I just think if your profession is to be a comedian and you say something that's gonna offend somebody, it's like, that's why they said it.
Yeah.
Not to be mean, but it's just, they're making a joke and they
Yeah.
know it's shocking.
Yeah.
And I think that's what happens when people get their old tweets dug up and stuff, because they tweeted something that they probably didn't really mean, but they knew it would be like shocking and like funny at the time. Because at the time it was like, shocking stuff was funny.
Yeah.
Like back in, I don't know, 2009 or whatever,
like
Twitter came out.
2011 or something.
Yeah, and
just like really like shocking just for the sake of it.
yeah, and obviously
Yeah.
it doesn't make it okay, but I think that's like where comedy is. All these comedians are just like, I can't say anything now.
I think Twitter is also a way that people can feel powerful in a way, because they're like, that's why I think cancel culture is such a big thing,
Yeah.
because it makes people feel like I am canceling that person.
Yeah, and a lot of people who have gotten caught up in it, like I saw Kevin Hart, he made it was like homophobic jokes, I guess. I don't know what they were, like forever ago, and then he was gonna host the Oscars, and they didn't let him because of the tweets from like 12 years ago or something.
Yeah.
And I saw him on a radio, or like a podcast or radio show or something, and he was like, all these people are telling me I can't host Oscars, like you need to learn what you said was wrong. And he was like, that was 12 years ago, like I have learned.
Yeah.
That was so long ago, like I would never say anything like that now. And I think that's, I don't know. I mean, I understand why people will see something like that and be like, wow, that's how this person thinks. Like they don't like these types of people or whatever.
Without realizing it was from a long time ago.
Yeah, and people can say things or tweet things that they don't actually mean, which doesn't make it okay, but it's still like it's like so black and white.
Yeah.
I think is a problem.
Yeah, the internet doesn't let people, at least people that have been using the internet for a long time, they don't let people escape their past in a way.
Mm-hmm.
It's like your past will always come back to haunt you. That's why the whole thing with like all those tweets, not just with celebrities, but with YouTubers, how like tweets got brought up of like, oh, they said this and that means this, that means they're this. When in reality, like maybe they were kids when they were tweeting shit like that.
Yeah, probably.
And they didn't know better, and it was just a dumb thing to tweet.
Exactly.
And now nobody knows that they're gonna become who they end up becoming, like famous person.
Yeah.
So it's like, how the fuck are they supposed to know that they shouldn't tweet that in whatever, like that's gonna bite them in the ass 5 years from now?
Yeah, they don't know. Isn't it crazy how a president in like 50 years will have a Twitter from when they were a kid?
Yeah.
Like how scary is that? And do you think that it'll get more lenient though, because so many people will have social media from the time they were like 7, that like maybe things will be, I guess, I don't know.
It's still, I think everything's still adjusting. I think all this shit is still like a work in progress. I think rational people will end up winning that fight, and I do think it's gonna get better.
Yeah.
I think it's just gonna it has to.
Yeah.
If not, then it becomes fucking like that book 1984. But I think it'll get better.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I feel like it's so far one way, it'll kind of like even out a little bit.
Yeah.
And I don't want that to come off as like people shouldn't stand up for other people or like be upset for offensive things. Like I think you should be upset for offensive things, but I feel like it just, everything is so blown out of proportion when it's not meant to be.
Yeah.
Which is the problem with the internet, because you don't know someone's motives on the internet. If they're just tweeting something, you don't know if they're being mean, you don't know if they're being jokingly sassy, you don't know if they're being dead serious.
Context.
It's
just,
it's
all gone.
It's all gone.
All right, you ready to go?
I'm ready.
Let's do it.